What if Captain Cook was the OG migrant? Yeah, I said it. Controversial again, Q. Yes. What if Captain Cook was just another goddamn migrant? He's not the so-called hero, not a villain, just the first bloke who rocked up uninvited and then claimed he was discovering something and started the long tradition of taking more than you can give. Because guys, here's the spicy thought. Australia's migration divide, it didn't start in 2024, it didn't start in 2014 if you want to go that far. It started on a wooden boat in 1770. In this episode, we're breaking down why the story we tell about Captain Cook might be the original migration myth, how modern migrants, especially brown, black, and Asian ones like myself, are held to completely different standards. And also, we're going to look at the economic double standard. That's right, guys. Rich migrants equal investors. Poor migrants, like my parents back then, equal burden. And why Australia loves migrants, but only when they stay quiet, build homes, and don't complain. Because in today's episode, guys, this isn't a history lesson. It's a financial conspiracy with colonial roots. So right now, guys, let's dive in this rabbit hole and see how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Because think about it, guys. Captain Cook discovered Australia in 1770. They always say that, they always teach that in the textbooks. That's the version we grew up with, right? But the thing is, guys, Cook didn't discover anything. He arrived, he planted a flag, and he started a chain of land grabs that today migrants would never get away with. You know, they say things like, oh, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, end quote, right? Yeah, we hear that all the time. But yet, guys, we still ignore the traditional owners of the land and we still buy, sell, and tax the crap of the land that we don't own. So my take on this guy is, Cook was the original OG property flipper, right? He found some land, got the Crown to underwrite it, and then never paid stamp duty. I mean, try doing that in 2025. We'll be incarcerated in prison. Now on this point, I know I'm kind of being controversial, but on this point, let's compare that to how modern migrants are treated these days. I mean, there's always this narrative, the good migrant versus the bad migrant. They always say, oh, we need the skilled migrants to boost the economy, end quote. Or, oh, the migrants are taking our jobs and push up rents. And we always see these type of headlines, right? Same week, same country, welcome to Australia, right? And on top of that, guys, look at the irony from the mobs in Canberra, right? Those guys, they love the high net worth migrants. You know, if you buy a few properties, you're like an investor. But then on the other end, if you bring your old parents over here and they have an accent, oh, suddenly they're a threat. My take on this, guys, is if Captain Cook arrived in Australia as a boat migrant with no visa, he'll be detained in Nauru in an instant. But fortunately, if he was white, and not to focus on his skin color, but because he was white back then and well-dressed and confident, he eventually became our national icon in history books. And guys, this isn't just culture, right? It's baked into our housing system. According to ABS data, which is Australian Bureau of Statistics, it shows over 40% of Australia's trading and construction workforce are migrants. Yet the first-gen Australians, including myself and many of my clients, are currently now priced out of the very homes they build themselves. So when poor folks like us say, oh, we need more housing supply, we just need more affordable housing, just increase the supply so we can afford the basic living of owning our own home. But no, guys, the policies in Canberra, they turn around and what do, guys? They cap borrowing capacity for the locals. They throw extra taxes at temporary visa holders. And they run through this whole pretense that every new migrant is some property speculator driving up prices. Because let's get real, guys. Once new migrants, when they become permanent residents, they're also taxed the same as everyone else, guys. And most of my clients are trying to get their foot into the door while the police upstairs think they're trying to flip luxury penthouses. And while I'm on that topic, guys, meanwhile, foreign investors who don't even live here, they can actually buy land, houses, and units through loopholes like trusts and shell companies. So guys, explain that to me. How is that fair that a single mum from Vietnam working night shifts in aged care gets told to sit tight while we have offshore companies that keep pouring capital into our property market untouched? So guys, this is my take. Captain Cook didn't just take land. This OG property flipper, he already set the rules. And right now we're playing the game where migrants are welcome to lay the bricks but not sit at the table. Because I don't know whether you guys noticed from all the media and news from the last 10 years, every housing downturn, they always blame the bloody migrants, right?
This is a massive issue. We saw that on the ground in the election campaign, just the issue of overall migration. I think there were 1.5 million. We're living through a housing crisis. There are young people under 40 that are effectively priced out of the housing market.
Every rent spike, they blame the students, which is in turn the migrants. And then every inflation surge, they always blame the Uber drivers of Punjab. Meanwhile, guys, negative gearing loopholes for Aussie bond investors cost taxpayers over $20 billion a year. That's 5 times more than what we spend on migrant welfare, guys. But I know what you guys are all thinking. You're like, oh, Q, you're an investor yourself. You're also benefiting from negative gearing yourself. You know that $20 billion of negative gearing benefits. You also take some of that as well. Yes, I know, but I'm still calling out the truth. Because here's the irony, guys. When the new migrants eventually become the permanent residents that I'm talking about, they don't actually get special privileges, right? They just access the same tax system like you guys, the locals, and like myself. And yes, on the same page, now when they become PR and they buy property, investment properties, they get to negative gear. But what I'm trying to say is that's not some unfair migrant advantage, guys. That's just a system loophole that's available to anyone with borrowing power at the moment. But what I'm trying to say is the difference is most new migrants actually have to start from zero, right? The guys that I talk to every single day, through my bookings, those guys work twice as hard just to play catch up to the locals like myself. So yes, guys, I'm one of those locals ironically benefiting from the 20 billion negative gearing, but I'm still calling out the truth. The truth is when there is a housing issue, the migrants that come in get the actual blame. But us locals, let's point the finger at them. And yes, I said it. So guys, when people say, oh, Australia is full, what they really mean is, quote, my property portfolio is full, guys. I don't want more competition, end quote. So a lot of you will be saying, hey Q, what are you harping on about? What's the punchline over here, right? All I'm trying to say is it's not about history. It's all about control, guys. Right now, let's talk about who is really benefiting from this system. I mean, look at the pollies. Look at the recent news article that says the average pollies in terms of their property portfolio. They have about 3 to 6 properties each as a politician. But these guys that are in the system are benefiting from OG Cook's property gain. And look at the media outlets, right? What are they selling at the moment? They're selling outrage. One moment there's boom and then in another moment there's gloom, right? I mean, what are they trying to sell? And lastly, let's not forget the biggest landowners in this country isn't migrants. And it isn't locals as well. They're super funds, corporations, and developers who've never poured a single slab in their goddamn life. So guys, this is my honest take. From a contrarian view, yes, being different, just speaking it differently so you guys have a different perspective. There's no disrespect to Captain Cook, right? I respect Captain Cook, right? Much respect to that OG, right? Because he found this land, he built the infrastructure, and he should be credited for that. But then guys, think of it another way. I don't think Cook started a colony. What he started was a real estate empire. And right now, guys, we're all just trying to buy back pieces of it. Because I'm telling you guys who are watching this, who think, oh, Q, you're being negative again. No, let's not forget Australia's roots. Do you guys remember the White Australia policy? That wasn't just a blip in history, right? It was law back then. I don't know whether you remember, in 1901, MP Prime Minister Edmund Barton said, quote, the doctrine of the equality of man was never intended to apply to the equality of the Englishman and the Chinaman, end quote. Chinaman, like people like me. And Labour leader Chris Watson backed it up by saying, quote, we know that coloured people are not wanted here, end quote. Take a moment just to reflect on that history, guys. That was actually policy, not a fringe opinion on Channel 10's project or something, which now got cancelled. And that White Australian policy lasted till 1970s. And right now, guys, we're in 2025. That was only 55 years ago. 55 years, which is only one person's lifespan. All I'm saying, guys, besides the government propaganda, the same country that celebrates Cook's arrival also actively banned Asian migrants for 70 years, guys. And now, right now, it's turning around saying, oh, diversity is our strength. So guys who are watching this, if you're feeling like the system was never built for you, because it wasn't, I'm telling you, I know it's a hurtful truth. It's designed to keep Australia white, wealthy, and walled off. And everything since 1970s, it has been just a retrofit. What I'm trying to say is that from that foundation, they're just trying to make it a little bit more progressive. But still, it's based on that foundation. So guys who watch this far, before you swipe off or click to another video, I want you to think about this, right? If Captain Cook was the OG migrant, then every migrant since then has been playing catch up. But right now in 2025, the rules are still rigged. The game has changed. The wealth game is getting harder. And like I said in this video, the scoreboard of those who are winning and those who are losing is hidden. So you don't know where the hell you are at the moment. But here's the twist, guys. Some of us are still winning. My clients, migrants, not migrants, locals, Aussie, whoever is waking up to this truth, to this matrix that we're in, they are using my holistic lending services combined with my financial advisors to get financial advice, my accountants to set up the best structure in terms of trusts or companies, and along with that, working with my multitude of buyers agents who know all the hot property suburbs in Australia right now. My clients with their custom A-team are playing the game so they can catch up to old mate Captain Cook. So if you guys are interested in knowing more about this, I suggest you book a 15-minute strategy call or a 60-minute deep dive so I can tailor a holistic lending solution for you, because I'm telling you right now, the system that we're in is designed to exclude people like us. But that doesn't mean we can't beat it. But hey, if you're not ready, just hit the like button, hit the follow button if you like more videos like this, and most importantly, smash the share button, share this to your mate, because knowledge is power, and sometimes thinking differently is what sets you apart. Again, thank you for watching another episode of That Property Roast, and I'll see you in the next few days.